You want me to put that on my todger?
This one's wife. They want to kill me. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. This one's wife has proclaimed that people want to kill her. Who could this be? Might it be agitated, middle-aged women who want to bombard her with tomatoes, pelting her into oblivion? Well, whilst you might think that certain people would be minded to do that, no, it's not that. Perhaps it's a paranoid response from this one's wife, once again seeking to channel the spirit of Diana, Princess of Wales, by maintaining that the awful royal family, who clearly offed Diana, yeah, right, are going to do the same to her. Could it be that King Charles is sat in a hollowed-out volcano going as he presses a red button and activates drones to fly across the ocean to find this one's wife and annihilate her? Well, whilst that might be the paranoid fantasies of this one's wife, it isn't that either. Could it be that the good denizens of the Saint This One's Wife Reddit thread have got themselves so agitated at the antics of this one's wife that they have taken up the cudgels, pitchforks and torches and are going to march upon wherever it is that this one's wife is living in order to teach her a lesson? Well, I'm fairly sure that there may well be some posters to that site who would quite readily like to give her a bit of a spanking, but no, it's not that either. Whilst there are plenty of people that really truly dislike this one's wife, to suggest that they'd want to kill her is putting it pretty high and rather strongly. Though many of you listening to me may well dislike her, detest her, find her disgusting and arrogant, somebody that you might even describe as hating, you probably wouldn't go so far as to suggest that you'd actually want to do her harm. And yet, we are now being told that this one's wife is the subject of individuals that not only wish to do her harm, but wish to kill her. This comes courtesy of OK magazine and Taylor Norton, that explains, even when this one's wife is doing good, she's doing wrong in someone's eyes. Well, that's the reason, as people who can see through her transparent display of faux compassion. Still, the article tells us, after the former royal shared a video showing how she obtained Billie Eilish's merch for a 15-year-old girl who had lost hers in the LA wildfires, the mother of two was hammered with death threats for her attempt at gaining public sympathy. As RadarOnline.com reported, a former butler to King Charles said her Instagram post about obtaining the merch raised questions despite her good intentions. Well, indeed it did. Residents of the area then raged at the Duchess of Sussex for allegedly trying to sway the public in her favour with the good deed. She needs to shut up or else. Just a massive virtue signaller. Can't someone get her to shut up? I've got no house, no home, and she's crying over a t-shirt, one person penned. While another said, another PR stunt for this one's wife, and yet more crocodile tears. She needs to shut the fuck up and stay in her mansion. The people are grieving for their homes, not their clothes. Well, some fairly stern responses there, and quite understandably so. If you have lost everything other than your life, and some people, of course, did lose their lives in the wildfires, the last thing you want is some half-baked lunatic former actress, former royal, popping up on her Instagram wanking on about getting some merchandise for a young girl. While some expressed their distaste for the wife of Prince Harry's move, the ex-employee of the Crown supported her. I think whether you love or hate her, there's a lot of different feelings out there towards her. This is one of the good things she's done. She's in her position to make a slight difference to someone's life. I think if you're able to do that, that's amazing. To put it on Instagram makes people question why she's doing that. But I do think to do something like this is fantastic. Well, it would appear that they are at least being supportive of what she's doing, failing to see that it's actual fact an entirely self-serving move. This one's wife and Harry are no strangers to online hate, the article tells us, after they left the royal family in 2020 and moved to California. Though many in England see them as black sheep, the butler continued to praise this one's wife's small act of kindness. When you've got that position that you can make a slight difference in someone's life, they stated, what's going on is devastating and it's awful, and it's great to see celebrities trying to kind of rally around and do things like this. I think this is actually using her position for something good, which is fantastic. The backlash against the brunette beauty, did she write this, came after she shared the story of meeting the teen online after she and Harry went to Altadena, a town devastated by the January wildfires. This one's wife explained the youngster's home was reduced to ashes, though she still hoped to recover her concert t-shirt in the rubble. The celeb then took it upon herself to reach out to the lunch singer to replace the shirt. Billy graciously sent over tons of signed merchandise for this one's wife to pass along. I thought of everyone that I knew, and I made a voice note, and I was like, please can someone get this voice note to Billie Eilish? Here's what I'm asking. She explained of how she got in touch with the songstress. What is interesting, though, is that this article makes it very clear in the headline. This one's wife hammered with death threats over LA wildfires, crocodile tears, and PR stunt. Yet the actual article makes no mention whatsoever of anybody issuing any kind of death threat to her. Is the fact that somebody said she better shut up or else, is that to be seen as a death threat? This is preposterous. There isn't any evidence to suggest that a death threat has been issued towards her. And yet, here we have a supine publication trotting that out, engaging in the kind of misinformation that this one's wife is notorious for. Yet again, this is an attempt to nullify the threat to control that is posed by the justifiable criticism of her self-absorbed nonsense through the Instagram video. It is no surprise that she was criticised. It was no surprise that she was ridiculed. Not only is the video in itself ridiculous in the way that she behaves, but the whole act is so transparently self-serving and the act of a narcissist that it deserves calling out. And yet, nobody has issued any death threats, yet OK thinks it is OK to suggest that she has been hammered with death threats. But we're not given any evidence of that. Might it be once again that this is a pity play on the part of this one's wife as she engages in a revision of history and misinformation by suggesting that she's received death threats when she actually hasn't, in an attempt to try and make people feel sorry for her, to try and put the blame on other people rather than her own ridiculous actions, once again demonstrating her lack of accountability. It is ridiculous and just shows that lies tumble from this woman's mouth so readily as she expels carbon dioxide, which of course is no surprise given what she is. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.